people are different in solo queue, how they act. In EU, people are very like bad, toxic, and in America they're like just passive aggressive or, just like why? Come on, why? Why do you do that? Why do you do that?
Well, we're wrapping up week 6 today on the second day. I'm joined right now by Zven with coverage presented by OmniSlash to talk a little bit about TSM's triumphant return to form, or at least that's how it feels like to me. You had two very, very solid and definitive games this weekend. Do you feel like you guys are sort of where you need to be right now?
I don't think we're where we need to be, but it's going upwards. I think after last week we got 2-0 by Clutch and C9, I think it was. We had to talk about how we practice and what we practice and how we do things and who does what, and I think it really helped. I think our coaching staff is very great, so we had a good talk about everything, and we kind of revamped our entire like scrim etiquette or whatever that word is, and I think now we're on an upward spiral.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me. I feel like I saw several different teams just start to tank in the last couple of weeks, and then everyone I'm interviewing this week, all those teams are now winning, and all of them are saying like, yeah, we had this big discussion, everyone figured it all out, which is very funny to me. Can you talk a little bit about any of the details? I don't want you to give away any secrets or anything like that, but what were some of the issues you guys had? What are some of the things you're changing?
Some of our big issues was that we were not playing our draft correctly. So when we had a bad draft, we would just lose. Like say we have a good comp early game, we wouldn't do anything. We had a bad comp in the late game, we wouldn't do anything at all. Then we had a good comp late game, and we would just get roll over in the early game, right? So we didn't play to our drafts, and our drafts were really bad because we were practicing things in scrims, and we weren't actually playing them on stage. So we were like, I played this all week, but I don't even want to play on stage now. So we put our coach in a very tough spot because we didn't want to play what we practiced in scrims. So it was hard for him to make good drafts for us. And then we ended up, like last second, not trusting ourselves in our confidence to play what we practiced. And then we had some role assignments and who calls what and who says what because our comps are very clouded. So people always say like 5 plans at the same time, and they're like, And sometimes we're trying to shift towards having 1 or 2 people talk the most and then follow their calls, and then not having 3 or 4 people just scream all the time like, hey, let's go here, let's do this, Right. So yeah, that's the main thing.
How do you feel about how NALCS has been shaping up with all the different teams? We saw Echo Fox and Cloud9 both drop games yesterday, but previously they've had pretty dominant performances. So what do you kind of think of the NALCS split so far this season?
I think even though C9 and Echo Fox before this week were, clear-cut the second first place teams, I don't think they're like that far ahead of everyone else. Like they're winning every game and they're best teams for sure, but they don't feel like Fnatic 15, right? Or like the 8-0 or Immortals they don't feel super dominant that you just can't win against them at all, right? They show weakness, so I feel like it's just like a huge fight for top 6 at this point. Even like FlyQuest and CLG and Optic are showing some promise. The only ones that don't really have any hope is GGS, I guess. Like they like have one good game here and there against TL, and then they get stomped next game. And I think everyone else has like some promise once in a while. So I think it's like a big battle for top six right now.
Okay, so now that you've played here for 6 weeks, I'm going to ask you a very, very straight up question. Given that NALCS has looked so wonky, do you feel like NALCS has like a weaker roster of teams this split than Europe, or how do you feel like this lineup of NA teams compares to like the European teams you're used to playing against?
I think that at first, when I joined LCS, I thought that me joining TSM made the other teams better because people like Doublelift, Biofrost, and Svenskern all spread out to different teams, right? So it made the teams better. I think overall, like TL got much better with the new roster. C9 got better with the Svenskern stuff contracts, and I feel like everyone got upgraded rosters because of us joining the LCS, right? But some teams like Xbox that people said they were not that good roster-wise, blah blah blah, doing pretty well. So I mean, I don't know who's better in our EU roster-wise, but because I don't really watch that much of other regions other than Korea. So I'm not sure. I think NA has a pretty good roster so far, and the play is meh right now. I think everyone is kind of not playing so well right now. The games are very random. Maybe it's best of ones, but the games don't feel like one team is just better than others, and everyone can lose to everyone. Like we saw TL lose to DGS, and we saw lost to someone else. Like it's just very random right now. I think teams are not very good overall.
So you're not watching EU LCS these days?
I watch it, but we scrim during ELCS. either we have like warm-up scrims for LCS days, or we have just scrims. So I watch like in between, and I watch some hype matches like Fnatic versus G2 or Vitality before they have their slump. So I watch some games and some highlights and stuff, but I don't really watch them in depth to look for macro and stuff, because I think the LCS, both EU and NA right now, are not very good macro-wise or like worth watching for the play and the macro. It's more just for entertainment or fun. I watch mainly just the top 5 of LCK to get, some few things to take from there.
Are there any teams in EU LCS that you consider yourself a fan of? Are there ones that you like try to follow because you care about them?
I mean, I don't know if I care about them, but I hope Perx does well in the LCS. Like, we stay in contact still. We talk to each other weekly. So I hope he does well in G2, and I hope G2 does well. I think G2 does, they were very, very good to me while I was there, and they kind of picked us up when we were at our worst. So I'm thankful for G2 and my years in G2. So I hope that they do well. I hope they continue their 4 LCS championships streaks. So.
What do you think of, shifting gears a little bit, what do you think of the new ADC?
Kai'Sa?
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the spotlight or like the reveal, but it seems very unusual for AD carries to have these kind of mechanics like stealth and like the dash thing, the ult. So I haven't really seen her like in play yet. I just saw the spotlight, so it looks very, very fun. I'm looking forward to play it. I hope it's not gonna be like another champion that's a marksman but played in mid jungle top, like the classic. So yeah, I hope it's gonna be an AD carry, not a top mid jungle champion.
Well, maybe we'll see her top. I was talking to an ADC in the NALCS who's already played her. I won't say who. And he was saying that she plays kind of like Lucian a lot, or it kind of reminds him of Lucian. So
plays like Lucian.
Yeah. And
some AD carry. You can't say who. Okay.
No. I'm saying that Kai'Sa plays a little bit like Lucian.
Okay.
Yes. Finally, what do you think of the U.S.? You've been living here for a little bit. You've been living in Los Angeles. It's been a little cold recently, though. You're probably laughing about that.
Yeah. I mean, this is cold, and I don't know what is, but the weather's nice. Yeah. The overall, weather and conditions are nice. Yeah. The house in TSM is very great. We have a backyard, ping pong table, pretty cool. I think it's much like EU, honestly, but the weather is different. The people are much different. Like, people's humor and people's way of being, personality is just different. Yeah. EU is very, more so in League, it's like they're very sarcasm, dark humor based. Here in America, people are more bright, so to say. This is how I feel. And then solo queue is very different here. Yeah. Main streamers, many one tricks, long queue times than in EU. A lot of pro players in the games. Everyone is like a pro player or an academy player nowadays in the solo queue in America. So also people are different in solo queue, how they act. In EU people are very like bad, toxic, and in America they're like just passive aggressive or just like, why? Come on, why do you do that? Why do you do that? Yeah, I don't know, bro. It's a mistake, but yeah, that's a huge difference for me. It's much different to play here.
Do you get a lot more question marks in North America whenever you mess up?
No, I think it depends on the week. If we lose, people are like, haha, TSM is so bad. Haha, hope we lose this week. And then when we win, it's like, TSM, I love TSM, and there's many fans in America too. Like, we play with like solo queue people, and they're like, oh, I love TSM. And he was like, grass, you're a pro player, fucking nerd, good luck in life. So it's very different, but
Did you get a chance to celebrate America's greatest holiday, President's Day, a couple Mondays ago?
Oh, I had no idea that had happened.
I'm just joking. Nobody celebrates President's Day. It's just a day off. Yeah, it's just you just get a day off. Well, I had this. The interview's going long. I had this whole elaborate ruse I was going to give you, where I told you people put on giant president's masks and go out and do all this stuff. Either way, is there anything that you want to say to any of the fans out there, TSM fans, or maybe the fans from Europe that are watching this?
Well, to both the European fans and the American fans and everyone else, I'm happy for you guys to cheering for us. And I know that not everyone was sold on this roster and the team at first, but I'm confident that we're going upwards right now. Our scrims are very good, and I think we're going to do well in playoffs. Thank you for cheering.
Thank you so much for the interview. Really appreciate it. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel.
Did you know that me and Broden, the cameraman, are basically contractually obligated to stick around Travis for the rest of his life? We can't leave. We're not allowed to leave. Broden, put your hand in front of the camera. Let them know you're here. It's a sad life we live. Sad life. Brought to you by OmniSlash.